Hi. So I can't make a book review because I haven't been reading any books. As you can guess from the title, instead I'm gonna shit talk Kerouac because he's the reason I haven't been reading. So my plan has been to read like all of Kerouac's books, like just Kerouac, and just get through all of them because I'm really interested in the big generation. Like if you've seen any of my videos, you know this. Like I'm all about Kerouac, but for some reason that I just do not understand, his book seems to be getting more and more difficult, which like doesn't make sense at all. Cause I feel like I should um I should become more accustomed to his writing style. By now I should be used to like never being able to catch my breath because there's like except from in like Dharma Bums, there's no chapters. There's only like and there's just so many words all the time. It's spontaneous fucking prose and I'm not used to it. I am in a way I'm kind of used to it, and that also makes his other books, other people's books makes becomes really nice to read. It's kind of like when you first you do something terrible, like you if you like break your leg and then later the same day you like hit your your hand against something, you're like, oh, it's okay because I've already endured the tremendous amount of pain that was breaking my leg, so just like doing this doesn't hurt anymore. But bad example, but you understand what I mean. So I it makes sense that after I've been like suffering through so many Kerouac books, that I would find other books really chill and easy to read, because it's just like such a breath of fresh air. Just like so, other books have like they have like a plot and a story, and they have like a mystery or whatever or something, not just like, oh, and I met this guy and I met this guy. Like there's so many characters and I don't know who they are. I wish I could at least read. I wish they could like publish his book. Maybe they have, but can they just publish his book where they change everything to real names, especially because like not all of them, because sometimes I always know who's like Allen Ginsberg or like Gregory Corso, like the main dudes, but then there's so many others that are just mentioned, and I feel like if all of his books got republished with the real names, then maybe I would recognize some people, and it wouldn't be just like a myriad of names and like characters all the time. Like that's his thing though. Like it's cool. I should be loving how he looks at this. He's like in For example, he's like at the mall and sees like this old lady, and he's like, ah, yes, this mother is just like America in this way, and this is her life, which is like what he does all the time. He didn't do that. That was just like an example, and like that's cool. Like, okay, he describes America with like people passing by, and like especially a lot of like bums and stuff. He loves hobos, and it's cool. It's cool. It's cool that he finds all these people who he kind of creates a backstory to kind of describe America. Like that is really cool, but it's just so many people all the time, and especially if it's his friends, it's just like, oh yeah, and this guy was like waiting on the phone because he was gonna hang out with him, and it's like I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are, and it makes it so freaking tiring. And also, mm, anyway, and also like what is even going on? Like I have to, those books that you can't even begin to try to understand, like, because you know how a lot of books have this other message, like I gotta charge my computer, for example, like wait, it's here. Okay, for example, Ken Casey's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is actually about. I'm not gonna say it because that might be a spoiler. But I mean, I could say because I didn't understand that because I'm fucking dumb. I don't know like the actual message of things. I just take the stuff at face value. I mean, I understood there was like some stuff going on. There was actually a critique or whatever. But anyway, oh, maybe I should do a book review about that. Maybe I can watch the movie and then do a book review because Ken Casey is relevant to me in my journey for Beat Generation since Neil Cassidy was Merry Pranksters. Like I was watching like some documentary or whatever about hippies yesterday, and they mentioned like the Merry Pranksters, and I was like, that's the driver is my love, the love of my life. Neil Cassidy called his nickname was Speed Limit, and I was like, oh, I love this, and I just why do they have to love drugs so much? It's just, especially like psychedelics, like that is, I mean, I understand, like it's really cool, especially, I mean, it's really really cool when it's like just like, wow, drugs, what's this, we don't know because we haven't really had any drugs before, so I understand, like that's really cool, like what, acid, what is that, no one's even heard of it, like that's really interesting, and you're like, you can like eat stuff or drink stuff and it makes you like see things and like understand everything about living. I mean, if you didn't know, like, oh, it's just drugs, like of course it seems like really interesting and everything, and but I mean, they knew what drugs were though, so I don't know. Basically what I'm complaining about right now is this other book I have borrowed and not read. Here, I've borrowed this freaking book. I borrowed the Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test by Tom Wolfe because it's about like I guess the Merry Pranksters and like Ken Casey and Neil Cassidy, so it's like I have to read this book because I love Neil, and it's like I was so freaking excited about reading this book, and I've read like 11 pages and I can't read more because I'm like, what's going on? That was what I was talking about, like, you know, when books are, you can't even begin to understand like the behind message, the thing that like the thing that's like this is the book, like I'm the book, but then there's like something else going on that's like, oh, actually this entire book's a metaphor or whatever, or like different things, but I can't even begin to think that at all because I just have to concentrate with knowing what the frick is going on. I don't know what's going on in this book. I've read 11 pages and I have no idea. I don't know. Like he's like thinking about stuff and it's like, oh, this reminds me of Cody, which is Neil Cassidy, like this reminds me of Neil, reminds me of Neil, like once in a while, but he's also just like going like, oh, now I'm in Long Island, Jamaica, and now I'm in New York, but actually I'm here, and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on, and somehow the language has gotten more difficult. There's so many words, I'm just like, what does this even mean? What does this even mean? I don't know what bows is. I don't think that's a difficult word. Like the wet bows shining at 3 o'clock in a March afternoon. Like G Street in Washington when I was young and so ambled in imitation of Big Slim with short steps. Who's Big Slim? I didn't know this when I was young, and so, wait, no. Erect and open-minded and howdy pard. Howdy pard? What does that mean? Walked like that in the sun outside marquees and shooting galleries and among orange peels of honky-tonk life? Honky-tonk life? I mean, the thing is, all of these words, I bet, I mean, especially like honky-tonk, I would understand it if it was like the only weird word, but when you just slam on weird word after weird word, and I just like open a random ass page and it's like, I don't know, the only thing I like, this is page 8, like I've read freaking nothing. Well, masturbation, there's absolutely no sense whatever in letting your pants down all the shitting, and then, because you're too lazy to get up or make other shifts, simply milk the cow with appropriate thoughts, and let the milk at its sweet keen pitch spurt downward between thighs when the urge at that moment is upward, onward, out, straining to make everything come out as though gathering it from all corners of the loins to purse it out the shivering pushbone. No, with the thing flapping and milking below, not only that, the seat cover restricting the natural quiver bow jump of the cock. At the great moment there is a sudden sorrow because you can't push in, out, over, onward, at it. this is also like kind of confusing. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny, but it was like, okay, so he's masturbating. But then I'm like, where is he? Because he was at the boat, and then the next I don't know what that word is. The next thing, you know, like when you divide pages. Here it's like what this thing, and it's like I wandered in the street of New York. How is he in New York? He was just like masturbating on a boat. I don't understand. And he was like, I don't know, oozing blood from miserable height, like a man sits down to piss. But just sit dumbly, like man sits down to piss, oozing blow for miserable hygiene and convenience sake, and an awkward woebegone, in fact castrated, with legs tangled in pants position and dumb short tails hanging a la shit, and barely missing the real dreading kick, and ending up having done nothing but clean out the loins, as you would stuck a dry rag in there and pull mopped out your life's desire. Well, Cody's got to know that soon enough. So it's like, I understand his masturbating, but it's like, what, where did this chapter, like, not chapter, I don't know what it's called. Where did this block of text, why was he writing that then? Because suddenly he's in New York, and he's just like, is he just talking about like his entire life for like several years, and every time he's thought of Cody, and one of them was while masturbating? I mean, I know he's like, he's ashamed of his sexuality and everything, and I mean, I do believe that he did love Cody as a friend, like just had a deep platonic bond to him, and Neil to Jack as well. And even though Jack definitely wasn't as straight as he wanted to be, I don't know if his gay feelings ever were directed at Cody, Neil. But I don't understand, like, this chapter. I was like, okay, I understand what's going on. At least I understand he's talking about like him jacking off, like I understand that, which is more, but I don't understand the context at all and what he wants with it, and the fact that I even understand what he's doing is like better than the other like freaking block of text. I don't know what is. I'm gonna Google translate this freaking word because I think I need it, and I do know it, I have forgotten. And I don't know, maybe I should read the electric Kool-Aid acid test, but I'm just like not interested in drugs. I just find it boring. And oh, that was also crazy. I watched like a YouTuber. I used to watch a YouTuber who talked about acid like a couple years ago, and turns out she like kidnapped and tortured a kid. It was terrible, and she's still free, and the kid is, I don't know, it's terrible. Okay, let's see. What is the word that I cannot remember? It's section? That's not true at all. Paragraph. Paragraph is the real. A paragraph. That is not a difficult word, but I could not remember it for the life of me. Also, so what I could do is I could not read Visions of Cody, even though I freaking bought it because the library didn't have it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy it because like I love Neil Cassidy and I loved On the Road, and like in the foreword it says like, oh, reading on the road, like, and not reading like on the road is just like a poo, like the start. You have to read like it's like being a tourist or something. It says like it's basically you don't really get to know. Like, it's so much more behind On the Road, and all of that is in here. So I'm like, cool, awesome. I so want to read this book because I loved On the Road and I love Neil Cassidy. And I don't understand. And, like, I know I should just keep on reading, but it's just so discouraging when it's, like, pages after page. And I had to read, like, I didn't even remember page, like, 9 to 11 because I knew I finished at 11, but I had to read, like, freaking page 9 and 10 again, and it took like so long because I just don't understand. I'm trying so hard, and I'm like, why can't I understand? Like, am I this dumb? What is he even saying? Like, what is this? And it's just, and everything takes so long too. Like, when he's talking about like eating food, is like talking about this random ass diner for like 2 pages, and I'm like, what? I don't care about like the diner. You're just describing a diner, and it's like a metaphor for like all of America in 1957 or whatever. Actually, probably like before that. But it's like, okay, I get it, but at the same time, I don't. Like, this is boring. I just want to read about freaking Neil, and I know that it's supposed to be like, and it's nice and everything, and it's cool to set the scene, and like, oh, this is where he's from and everything, and oh, like Cody's father with the witless peak. Like, he keeps bringing it back to Neil, so like, yeah, okay, it's relevant. Although, is it relevant, or is it just being like, okay, let me just like talk about Neil so I can write about this boring ass diner. Anyway, I also consider reading Big Sur because Big Sur is awesome. It's less than 200 pages, which is amazing because like I am tired and I don't want. This book is 600 pages long, which is also so discouraging. Like, am I just not going to understand anything that's going on for 600 pages? I don't want to do that. And so Big Sur, I was like, okay, maybe I should read that one. But at the same time, like, reading Desolation Angels was just such a blah, because it's 400 pages long, and I like the second part, the passing through part of the book more, and I made a book review about it. But that was like, oh my god, I'm gonna read 400 pages of like Jack Kerouac, like really, really tiring. But the thing is, I've read like 2 books now that isn't even from the Beats, and that's my plan has always been like read a Kerouac book and then take a break, maybe, unless it was a chill Kerouac book, and then read another one. And it's like once in a while I like sprinkle in some like light reading, like Murakami, for example, because well, mostly Murakami, but yeah, because he's like really easy and chill to read, so my brain doesn't get fried. But Big Sur, I could read Big Sur now, but the problem is I just don't want to, because this is one of his last books, and it's just so discouraging, because he's just like, I'm an alcoholic, I'm old, life is terrible. And I mean, I think this book, I've heard this book is really, really depressing, and I assume it is, because when was it written? It was written like in like hella late, like late the 50s, like late 50s, I think. And he was just tired of life, but he kept going though for like, because he died in 69, I think. First published 63, but when was it written though? Why doesn't it say? Does it? It doesn't say. Okay, whatever. It was probably written in like late 50s, and he was like sad, and hated life. So I don't want to read this, because right now I need to feel thrilled about life, because it's so cold. It's so, winter is here. It's freaking November, but it's frost, and it's just so cold. Like, look at what I'm wearing. Like, I'm so cold, and I'm so happy. Actually, let me talk about my clothes, because my clothes is really cool. Because of course this one goes so, my beloved bow that I finally found. I lost it for so long. Goes so well with the color of this sweater, and I haven't really liked the sweater because I don't like the print, because you know I'm all about vintage fashion. But what I did was I bought this vest like yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, and I was like so happy because it goes perfectly with this, like it's literally like the same freaking pattern. It's like it's made for each other, and I'm gonna wear exactly this outfit like all the time, because like where the sleeve ends here and the sleeve begins here, because I tried it on with a different sweater, but it looked weird, because you know how not all sleeves are the same. Some of them are like this, some of them are like goes all the way to here and stuff. So this is like perfect for the sleeve. Also, it's like the exact same length, which is just like amazing, like the exact same length. And also I tried on these pants, and these pants are also the exact same length, like opposite of course, so it's like meets, and it's like perfect. Also, I bought this really cute cool belt for like $1. It was like, or $2, I don't know, but it was hella cheap. And I love it so much. I don't actually need it, but it kind of goes well with my clock, who also goes well with my sweater, who goes well with. I'm really happy about this clothes, and I don't really wear pants because I can't find any wool pants. I really want wool pants, but I can't find any that fits me. I've been searching for so long, and I think I just might have to like try to find a website who sells them for hella expensive, because I am freezing my butt off, and I'm only wearing skirts, and even though I'm wearing like wool skirts that are like hella long and stuff, it's still too cold. So now that I can finally start wearing pants, I'm really happy. I mean, I could have, but I could have worn pants before that, but I don't know. I like to feel fancy and cute, but with these clothes, I feel amazing. So I'm really happy about my outfit, and I'm gonna wear this every single day. I even got over my fear of antiperspirants, who leaves, because because you know how like deodorants are good, but antiperspirants they actually leave like metal in your body. So, but anyway, I'm not really a sweaty person, but what happens is that like my clothes will be dirty faster. So even though like I won't smell bad, like I have asked people, like it's not like everyone's like, oh geez, she should shower. Like I asked, like I'm like, hey, do I smell bad? And it's like I don't, but my clothes I have to wash them way faster. So, but I finally got over that fear because I googled it and it's like it was a myth or something. So, and I have for years been afraid because it didn't used to be a problem because they used to sell deodorants, but now they only sell antiperspirants. Anyway, I was really afraid, but now I'm not, and I had to buy, and I bought it like yesterday finally because I was like, okay, I want to wear this sweater every day, but if I have to wash this sweater all the time, like, because like my clothes do, like I have to wash my clothes way more, and then I just, yeah, so I had to buy it. Anyway, back to Kerouac. I don't know what to do. I am very very frustrated, and I am very happy. I have very nice clothes. But I want to read, and I haven't been reading anything. Like I haven't been reading at all. And also, it's so cold. Oh yeah, I was talking about the weather. Like it's so cold, and I'm very happy I found this warm outfit because this is also warm and this is warm. Anyway, it's really cold. Like it's so cold right now, and I forgot how cold it gets. I mean, you forget every winter how cold it gets, and I am freezing all the time. Like right now, I'm not that cold. I don't know how to close my window. So my room is really cold. My room is always cold because I don't know why. My room is just really badly isolated. But yeah, I don't know how to close my window, and I'm freezing, and it gets dark at like 3, like literally like the sun starts setting at 3, and I think it's like night at like 5, and it's like really dark at 4 or something. So it's just I don't want to read this depressing ass book because I'm just gonna be like I'm just like cold and it's like dark outside. I'm just gonna be like ugh. So I want to read something nice, like maybe something Christmassy. That would be nice because the only reason one wouldn't hate living in this freaking cold is because of Christmas. Like literally, Christmas is amazing. I mean, whatever the religion thingy, I don't know, but I think that Christmas is awesome because it's so like maybe where you live you don't need Christmas because you're just it's not terrible. Like the weather isn't terrible where you live, so but Christmas is necessary. We need the lights, we need the jolly, the hollies, we need nice, we need to have these Christmas table thingy. Is that an international thing where you drink glögg and you eat gröt and you have fun, you sing and you get drunk with your coworkers and your friends and your boss, and we need Christmas. We need the Christmas lights outside the houses. I mean, we don't need it as much as because I realized in California, like, cause there everyone's like, we need Christmas lights because you don't have snow, so like you have to have all the lights and those crazy lights. We don't do that here. Like, yeah, sure, we will hang out lights, but not like the insane stuff I've seen. Like that's so cool though, but also terrible for the environment. So I don't know how cool it is, but I understand why you would do that when you don't. And also really expensive. But yeah, we have snow, which is Christmassy, which is like we need that too. We need to have like, oh, snow, white Christmas, like this is great. Because if it wasn't like, I mean, of course it's beautiful, but still, like to really love it because it's so cold and I hate it. And all I want to do is just like stay in bed, like under my duvet because I'm always freezing. I don't want to go outside. I have to do stuff. I always put off going outside for as long as possible, and except I can't really do that because it gets freaking dark so early. But I don't want to go outside. I have to force myself every time I have to go outside. I have to force myself because it's just like so cold. No matter how many clothes I put on, I'm still gonna be freezing. So anyway, life is hard here, and if you don't get like snow maybe be thankful. Actually, I do love it. I do love snow a lot, and I think winter is beautiful. But right now, I'm just like, there's no snow, so it's literally only the bad parts. Like, if it started snowing, maybe I wouldn't be so. Actually, I put the leaves. I did rake the garden yesterday or the day before, but I haven't put the leaves in trash bags yet. Or I could just put it in the flower place. Actually, I don't know. There's a lot of English words I don't know. Like, I mean, I can communicate fine, but you know those words that you just don't normally use, and I don't know them, but you know them when you're from somewhere, but I don't know them. And I don't know any words when reading Kerouac. What is he saying? And it's too cold to read Big Sur because like this, I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna be such a bummer. And I need life energy right now to handle this freaking cold. Why is it so cold? It's so cold. Anyway, well, this is why I'm going to California. Ah, I really hope I will be able to travel really soon because I don't want to be here for winter. I want to have a little bit of snow, and then I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Because California is so warm. It doesn't even get cold. It's like summer or like spring basically. Like Californian winter is like spring. Ah, it's so cold here. And I have to go outside. I'm gonna sew later on. Sorry, this turned out to be me talking about my life. But whatever. I mean, I'm so charming. Everyone wants to know. Also, I have one viewer and it's my friend. So, hello, shout out to, can I say your name? I love you. I miss you. Please, come back to Korea. Anyway, I hate Jack Kerouac. I hate him. I hate it. I really want to freaking read his books, but I don't understand what he's saying. Why do I not understand? Maybe the reason why I'm having such a hard time is that I have read like editions of his books that are like newer. You know how when you have like old books and then you like kind of translate them into modern language a bit every time you edit it. So maybe this is a really old edition. Let me see. Is it? Probably not. I'm probably just dumb. How do anyone understand this? I don't understand. Does it say? This is Penguin Books. What about this one? Oh yeah, it said like first published somewhere, so maybe it says. I don't understand. I do not understand. Should I read something else from it? It starts like this. This is an old diner like the ones Coney and his father ate in long ago, with an old-fashioned railroad car ceiling and sliding doors. The board where bread is cut is worn down fine, as if with bread dust and a plane. The icebox say, I got some nice home fries tonight, Cody. Is a huge brown wood thing with old-fashioned pull-out handles, windows, tile walls. What do you mean? There's windows in the icebox? What is the icebox? I don't understand already. Windows tile was full of lovely pans of eggs, batter pats, piles of bacon. I mean, okay, maybe it's just confusing put. I don't know. I guess he's still talking about that freaking diner, and there's an icebox, but it's a huge brown thing with old-fashioned pull-out handles. Oh yeah, because it was confusing because it just suddenly put in like this. Say, I got some nice home fries tonight, Cody. So I got confused already. I am confused. This was actually, I could have gotten that, but it's just, I don't know. I don't like how he wrote it. I think it's confusion, and also I am easily confused apparently. Old lunch cars always have a dish of sliced raw onions ready to go on hamburgs. He did write hamburgs. Anyway, grill is ancient and dark and emits an odor which is really succulent, like you would expect from the black hide of an old ham. What is black hide? I don't know what black hide is. Also, he doesn't even say the grill is like grill is ancient. Or black hide of an old ham or an old pastrami beef. The lunch cart has stools with smooth slickwood tops. I don't know what slickwood liquid is. I mean, I understand it from the context. It's not that difficult to understand. The problem is there's like so many words that I'm confused about. So I understand like slick wood tops. Like it doesn't. I guess it's wood and it's slick or something. I don't know. But it doesn't really matter that much, does it? It doesn't. They're smooth and it's chairs. There are wooden drawers for where you find the long loaves of sandwich bread. The countermen, either Greeks or have big red drink noses. Coffee is served in white porcelain mugs, sometimes brown and cracked. An old pot with a half-inch of black fat sits. Why does it have a half-inch of black fat? I don't understand that. Sits on the grill. Like, there's. What do you mean black fat? Is that coffee? Is he talking about coffee? Like, why? What is the black fat? I don't know. With a wire fryer. I don't know what the wire fryer is. Also caked. What do you mean caked? Okay, so it's dirty basically. I understand that. Like, it's dirty. And that's fine. The problem is, it's like everything is confusing. Ready for French fries. Melted fat is kept warm in an old. Oh, okay. So this fat is basically what you use for cooking. But why is it black though? Melted fat is kept warm in an old small white coffee pot. A zinc siding behind the grill. I don't know what a zinc siding is. I don't know. The grill gleams from the brush of rags over fat stains. The cash register has a wooden drawer as old as the wood of a roll-top desk. I don't know what roll-top is. The cash register has a no, I read this. The newest things are the steam cabinet, the aluminium coffee urns, the floor fans. What is floor fans? I don't know. But the marble counter is ancient, cracked, marked, carved, and under it is the old wood counter of late 20s, early 30s, which had come to look like the bottoms of old courtroom benches, only with knife marks and scars and something suggesting decades of delicious greasy food. Ah! The smell is always of boiling water mixed with boiling beef, like the smell of the great kitchens of parochial. What does parochial means? Like, that is just ridiculous. Boarding schools or old hospitals. Okay, I understood that. The brown basement kitchen smell. The smell is curiously the Hungarians in America. It is foody instead of just spicy. Or it's like dishwater soap. Just wash the pan of Hamburg. Why does he write Hamburg though? Nameless, memoried, sincere. Makes the guts of men curl in October. I mean, okay, so I kind of understood what was going on. Like, yeah, he was describing a diner, and he was like saying it's greasy. There's a bunch of grease stains and fat stains, and like it's really greasy because it's like a diner, and that's like what diners are, and that's fine. Okay, and it's like it's also relatable to Neil because this is an old coder like the ones Cody and his father ate in. Like, you see what I mean? He like goes on this long paragraph describing stuff that is kind of like, oh yes, really, like, I mean, it's a cool way of writing. It is. I can respect it. It's like, okay, fine, yeah, it's describing it well. Like, okay, so this is like where Neil and his dad used to eat and stuff. That's his life, and also like America at that time. Like, that's cool. It's cool. I can respect that. But it's like, what the parochial? Do people know that word? I have never ever in my entire life heard the word parochial. Actually, I'm gonna Google what does parochial mean. Cause I do not know. Oh crap! I need to go. Parochial. I am meeting a friend to sew a circle skirt, or something related to church parish. Okay, so you know it if you're Christian, and he was Christian. Relating to a church parish, the parochial church council, having a limited or narrow outlook or scope. Parochial attitudes. Okay, so it's like churchy. That's a pretty cool word. Kitchen of parochial boarding school. So we're talking about like Christian boarding schools that are like, okay, so maybe what I have to do to read this book is just expand my vocabulary a shit ton by. Should I actually just use this book as a means to expanding my vocabulary a lot? Should I just, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just start over again because I've only read freaking 11 pages anyway, and I should just like every time I don't understand a word, I should just actually Google it and not be like, okay, I understand like the word in the context, like parochial boarding schools. It's like, yeah, I understand like boarding schools already. He didn't real he in kind of didn't have to put the word parochial there because I kind of already knew like boarding schools that like a certain you do have a certain connotation, but it definitely did add to the text. I think it wasn't like oh, why did he put it there? He should have just edited it out or something. I think that it definitely did add to the text, so I understand why he chose to use it. It just really sucks for me because I don't understand. And it's like, oh, English is my first language. Like, it wasn't his first language either. I mean, sure, he lived there, he's like all his life or whatever, but he spoke like with an accent. He spoke really bad English until he was pretty old. So like, yeah, I don't know. Why did he use that word though? And there's so many words. Especially what I really hated when he describes streets. But actually, I really am pretty late. So I have to go. But yeah, maybe I should literally just like get a freaking tiny book and actually write down um glossary. Is that a word? See, I don't know any words. Maybe I actually have to learn more words. And I heard that I thought actually I asked my mom. I was like, hey, I don't know any words. Help. And she said like it doesn't even, like reading books. People say that reading books help, but actually it doesn't. You have to like Google it so you understand and write it down maybe because people remember better with writing it down. So maybe that is the way to fix this problem I am having by with understanding what is going on. But that's whatever. I have to go and sew a skirt and have fun and go out in the cold and freeze and yeah. Anyway, book review, kind of book review, but I haven't read the book. I do not want to say subscribe because that's such an ugly word. Okay, done. Bye.